What's up YouTube, Slade Trilson, and I'm going to be doing another deck profile for you guys. This deck profile is I'm pretty excited about because this is actually my own deck profile, and I've been using this deck and I've had a lot of like features, or I've been having other people come on my profile and do deck profiles, or I've been having deck profiles but I would do it for other people. So this is like my own deck, so I'm like pretty excited about that. And what I have is Noble Knights, and they're up to date. Today's date is the 13th of April, I believe. Maybe posted at not the 13th of April, but just in case someone was wondering when it was updated last. And I figured, I'd get to it. And yeah, I'm gonna get started on that. Just got my cool new deck box, so I just kind of had it there. Never had a sideways deck box, so yeah. Gonna get straight into the deck first. Alright. So, for starters, everyone knows 3 Madrot, pretty standard, so I'm not gonna get too into that. New Noble Knight, well, he's not a Noble Knight, but he's support for them. It's one of the new supports, and it's Merlin. Definitely need to be running 3 of him, no ifs, ands, or buts. He is, if anything, just as important as Madrot. He has a pretty long list of effects, but his basic effect that I've been using the most is he's basically like, he'll search for a Noble Knight. So you can summon him, tribute him, and get a Noble Knight out onto the field from your deck. So that's pretty clutch, because if you draw him and you need a Madrot at the moment, or any Noble Knight at that moment, you get them. But I mean, obviously you will waste your normal summon, so just be prepared for that situation. Okay, next, 2 Boars. He's been skimmed down from 3 because of all the new support, but honestly, before you needed him at 3, but now there's so much support, I can honestly say he's lit at 2. You're good. And maybe some people still run him at 3. I don't know. I'm liking it where it's at right now. For the singles, I'm gonna put this to the side. For the singles, 1 Dristan. Obviously, he's still really useful. If you don't know, when he's equipped, he can destroy a monster. So that's pretty clutch. Running 1 Gawain, pretty cool. He's a quick XE monster, for the most part. 1 Gwalchavad. You don't really need him, but I mean, you do need him at some circumstances, but you got to keep your Noble Knight count up, because that's really important. Noble Knight Brothers, one of the newer cards, but like with all the new support now that you have numbers in Noble Knights and you have like different kind of ways to get them out and stuff and get their plays going, Brothers is great. He wasn't great when he first came out, but now I can say he's very useful and very crucial part of the deck. One of the new supports, Noble Knight Bedwyr. I think that's how you say it. He's pretty clutch. When he is summoned, you can send a Noble Arms equipped card to the graveyard, and you can equip a Noble Arms from the grave to a Noble Knight on the field, including himself. So that's pretty clutch. If you have a Madrot but you don't have an equip and you have him, there's a lot of things you can do. That's it for the Noble Knights. I'll leave them sitting here because you got a lot of nice space in this Spellground. I think this is the Salt and Pepper one, and I don't think anyone's made a deck profile on it yet on YouTube. I could be wrong, so don't hold me to that. 1 Ignoble Knight of Black Lonsdale. He's had his moments, like you'll forget about him, but then sometimes he'll be there and you'll be like, oh wow, I can actually use him. So he's clutch sometimes. It's cool. And 1 Gwynfor, Queen of Noble Arms. She's really cool. And she can be equipped from the grave anytime, once per turn. So, she's like recyclable and it's cool. Really need her. I'm going to get into the Noble Arms. We got 2 Noble Arms of Destiny. This is my favorite Noble Arms personally because he keeps you protected and it re-equips itself. But most Noble Knights, Noble Arms re-equip themselves. My second favorite is Gallatin. Gives you straight up 1000 attack boost, and it's good to get over high powered monsters right away. if you're dealing with that. 2 Noble Arms Excalibur. Excalibur is one of the better Noble Arms too, and it doesn't re-equip itself. So if you're trying to go for the 4-play with Midrot, that's really cool. And you know, he's a quick Xyz play too if the situation should call for it. Run 1 Caliburn, really good, and 1 Aphrodite or Aphrodite, whatever, however you want to say that. That's my lineup of Noble Arms. Keep that there. Actually, I'm just gonna clear the space. Matter of fact. Okay, gonna get in. So we have 2 last chapter of the Noble Knights. You could be running 3, but 2 is good because you don't want to like overdo it because the situation might not always be for that. So yeah, this one, if your opponent controls no monsters, you can go ahead and target a Noble Arms in your graveyard and also a Noble Knight and bring them both back up. And it's basically a monster reborn, and it could get a playoff because if you get a Noble Arms and a Midrot, you know, right there, bang, you got like a whole play going just from that. So it's a really good comeback card. That's why it's called the last chapter, you know. Pretty cool. You're gonna be running 3 Rhoda. Why? Because it's at 3 and these are Noble Knights. Self-explanatory. Take advantage of while Rhoda is still at 3. 2 Dark Hole, because Dark Hole's at 2, so why wouldn't you run? And obviously, with all the equips that this deck has, you are almost always in a position to Dark Hole the field and not have yourself be affected, because majority of the Noble Arms protect you from getting destroyed. Or they re-equip themselves, you know, depends. There's a few situations. Raigeki, because Raigeki... Foolish Burial, because sometimes if you don't have an equip, you could send Gwynnefer to the grave, or you can send Ignoble Knight to the grave, because they both have effects that spark from the graveyard. So depending on that, you know, you can do a few moves. Duality, for those moments where you start off and you're just like, what the hell, I need a better hand, you know, that gets you going, or it could be very crucial. This card, Kaiser Coliseum, is like the MVP of this deck for me, because this card almost always controls the field, because you can win the duel controlling 1 Xyz Noble Knight, or even like any Noble Knight with equips on it. You can be in a control position, and if your opponent can't get more than 1 monster on the field and you have that really powerful monster that can do everything, then you know your opponent is pretty screwed until he gets rid of the Kaiser. So yeah, that's my lineup of spells. Yeah, and I'm gonna get to the traps. 2 Call of the Haunted, really good to bring back your Noble Knights, because you need to just keep that up. It's clutch, and like no one really uses Call of the Haunted anymore, I think, so like people just don't see it coming. But this card is definitely really good still. 1 Breakthrough, because why not? It's back. You need to have your back row up just in case. 1 Mirror Force, 1 Compulse, 1 Deep Prison. You know, these are all just staples. You gotta have them there because, you know, you could be in a control position, but you don't want to be caught in a situation where you need these cards and you don't have them. So, I'm gonna get into my side deck now. So, 2 DD Crow, pretty self-explanatory. 2 Max C, pretty self-explanatory. 2 Card D, pretty self-explanatory. You know, draw power is really important, and if you feel like you're not seeing the cards you want to be seeing, you may want to swipe out in the second duel and try your luck. I have Noble Knight Bedwyr. You know, if you want to have your Noble Knight count up, he's a good body to just have in there. So that's it for the monsters in my side deck. 3 MST, you know, you kind of just want to keep them there just in case you feel like your opponent is like abusing back row. Even though you have your rank 4 that destroys a lot of magic and traps, you know, sometimes you're just like, damn, this guy's overdoing it. There's people like that, you know, sucks, that just back row it up all crazy. So yeah, you have that. D-Fissure, Soul Charge, Lance. Just like some staple cards that you might wanna put in your deck according to the situation. Macrocosmos and Karma Cut. So that's it for my side deck. And I am angry that I spent like $4 on this Karma Cut and it just came out in premium gold. So yeah. Set that up. And I'm gonna be going into my extra deck now. Extra deck is pretty you're gonna run 2 Sacred Noble Knight King Arturgus. This is the rank 5. And then you have the same guy, but he's a rank 4 with his name's positioned differently. Arturgus, King of the Noble Knights. These are the main XCs you're going to be going into. The rank 5 lets you destroy 1 monster when you detach, and both monsters' effects are that you get all 3 equips from your graveyard, and you can attach them to them up to 3, and you have so many equips. And the rank 4 destroys back row up to the amount of equips he has. So pretty OP in my opinion. Next, Steel Swarm Roach, number 103 Ragnar Zero, Castel. Castel is just like such a good card, you know, he helps you in such situations. Heroic Champion, because they're warriors, and you know, sometimes you just want to blast somebody. That's the man you want to blast somebody with. Gaga Cowboy, Abyss Dweller, because it's like pretty staple. Blade Armor Ninja, you know, that's the man. If you want to really blast somebody, you hit them with 2200 twice, you know. Honor Arcs, you know, I'm still running 2 because I love this card, and you know, still a great card. And 1 Heartland Draco. This card, I've won duels with this card, you know. Sometimes you just like the duel gets to the point where you need the quick finish. If they're at 2,000 or under, finish them, bro, you know. So that's it for the deck profile. If you guys really want, I could upload combo videos and stuff. If you really want, you could just say that in the comments. But the deck is pretty self-explanatory, and I've been doing really good with it. So I think you guys will like it. And that's all for watching, guys. This is Slade Trilson. Like, comment, subscribe below, and let me know what you guys think. Thank you.